Welcome to the A Travel Talk Show. We are here broadcasting in self isolation. We like to call it self hibernation, and we are practicing physical distancing. But we still want to keep in touch with our tourism businesses out there and with you, the travelers. My name is Greg Gerard. I am the co founder of ehCanadaTravel.com. I love public speaking. As I'm also very proud to be a small and rural Canada community consultant. I am your proud co-host of the A Travel Talk Show. We are broadcasting live. We are doing it from self-isolation. We're practicing physical distancing, and we are proud to be here doing our part, hopefully, in promoting Canadian tourism. With me, who's joining with me, and I'm very happy to say, is my brother, Colin Gerard. He is also the co-founder. He is the tech guru. He is also my best friend. And may I introduce you to my brother, Colin Gerard. Welcome, Colin, to the show.
Well, thank you very much for the great intro there, bro.
No, bro, no problem. Hey, man, how is self-isolation going for you?
How is self-isolation? That's a very good question.
we
As
see,
with
hey,
everybody,
we seem to be all doing it.
yes. Main thing I find is people. I mean, with nobody around, you miss the communications, the camaraderie, family and friends especially. Shout out to mom. We miss you, mom. You mean everything to us. We know you're hibernating as well and scared, and we're here for you and love you.
And to all the seniors, be
And to
safe,
all the seniors,
be
yes, and
safe.
people, and anybody with elderly parents and seniors, give them a call.
I know our mom does.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. It makes her day and makes ours or mine too.
exactly. Hey,
Uh,
you know what? Just before the show, I went on a vacation.
oh, did you? Huh.
Yep. You
I
know what?
wasn't invited, obviously.
Well, here's the thing. I went to Kabasan Kitchen. Just before this show, I went to Kabasan Kitchen, and then I took a little bit of a day trip over to Villa del Bathroom, and then
Oh wow, hey,
I did it, and then I hopped in, and I'm now sitting here in Lost Living Room, and it's just crazy, right? Just the traveling I've been doing all just today.
you're a worldly figure,
Yeah,
a traveling man.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, one thing I've noticed.
No, what?
Good answer. Um,
Thanks.
this is our 30th day in self isolation.
Wow.
I know, and you know
That's
what?
crazy.
I know it is crazy. So that again, we're going to talk a little bit about this later of why we're doing this tourism and travel a travel talk show. But
Yeah.
before that, you know what I've noticed here in Canada? Canada is now um, becoming like a Las Vegas.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know why? There's
Yeah.
three reasons why I think this. Okay, one,
Uh-huh.
we're all losing money everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
Vegas. I mean, who wins? I don't. Uh,
Yeah.
People now with us all self-isolating and we're sort of mixing the day and nights, right? You can have cocktails anytime you want, which is like, Las Vegas,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
here's the kicker. This is the one me and you always talk about. Nobody knows what day or time it is anymore.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah.
It's just like Vegas. It's funny how that works, right? It's just crazy.
Yeah. I heard people talking in the grocery store about that.
Oh
No
yeah,
one knows what day it is.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It's
funny.
funny. Yeah. So to you travelers, thank you for joining us. If you do see, let me just help here. And who do we got here? We got Veronica, we got Kim and Merver here. Kim and
Oh,
Peter, and they're saying hi. Those are our buddies in Hickson. They run,
woo!
yeah, and they run a campground. We stay with them every time. We're in North BC. Great people. It's called Canyon Creek Campground. And then don't forget to go check out the waterfall while you're there, which is really cool. Yeah. Oh, and look who we got also here. Just a little shout out. We're going to do a little shout out here to guess who? Carrie Horning. Love the travel talk
Very.
idea. Well, we got one fan. So this is a participation show. So we want you below us. Make some comments during the show. And at the end, we're just going to cover it right now. I'm going to tell you a little bit what's going on, what we have. Thanks, Carrie, for the nice shout out. So let me just put that out of the way here. And again, we are the directors, photographers, hosts, editors, cameraman, and everything. So bear with me as we do our first travel talk show on here. So the agenda today, we'll just give you a little outline. First, we got a feature that we came up with. It's called 5 Things You Should Know. And then, are we ever lucky? Hopefully, we're going to have and introduce you to Matthew Bailey, who's traveled 40 different countries. Matthew is a very, very cool YouTube influencer. He's the creator of Must Do Canada, and he's a great social media influencer. And atop all that, he's a good guy. Hey, Cole?
Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah. And then what we'll do is we got a feature at the end. We're going to talk and we're going to share. Me and Colin spent about 10 years, and we traveled across Canada from Inuvik, Windsor, St. John's to Tofino, and we visited 6,000 plus parks, trails, and over 1,000 communities. And we're going to share with you some of the hot spots because Canadians need to explore Canadians when we're done with all this crisis. And we're going to get a little bit into that, the importance of how that's going to affect many, many communities. And here's Carrie. She's coming back at us, Colin. She's making a big claim. Here it is, number
Oh,
one.
well,
And I don't know. That's a tough call.
there could be some competition there.
Yeah, yeah. So, Cole, what we're going to do is I think we should get into why we're going to have this travel talk show and hopefully build up our fan base.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So right now, let's talk a little bit why we're going to have the show. And to do that, we get to bring on this little cool little icon here. Look at that. Why we're doing the talk show. We run ehCanada, and we get a lot of beeping, buzzing, texting, phone calls lately. And from our clients all over Canada, we're going to share with you some of the concerns, and we're going to be real. And we need to talk about the tourism industry and what they're going through. They're in a lot of pain, and we love these guys. So we're going to do a little bit about that. Second reason we want to do a talk show is the fans out there. We also want to share with them the travel. So, and the last thing we want to do is reason why, and I'm sure Colin will add to this list, is we want to help clients, customers, and communities get through this crisis. So we're going to share what we've been hearing from everybody, influencers, experts, and all that, and we're going to share with what we're hearing. We're not going to put any spin on it. Why? What's the point, really? Okay. Hey, guess who's here? It ain't the Easter Bunny. It ain't the Easter Bunny. Guess who's here?
Matthew?
No. Well, how did you know that? Okay.
Good guess.
Let me introduce you to the show. Matthew Bailey. He's the creator of Must Do Canada. He's traveled 40 or something countries, and I'm sure Matthew will fill you in on a little bit of that. He's also one of my favorite YouTube influencers, and I'm getting to know more and more about what Matthew provides and the important information he provides. And I think it's probably pretty adequate that we invite the man to the show and see what he has to say. What do you think?
Welcome, you betcha.
Let me just push this magic button with his smiling face on it, and we're going to bring him online.
Oh, there we go. Hey,
Matthew.
Matthew Bailey. Yes, sir. We're bowing in our third of the screen. Hold on.
Yes.
Bow, bow. Hey, Matthew, welcome to the show.
thanks for having me.
Excellent. How'd your YouTube web watch party go?
Good, actually. I did a premiere because the rest of the team wanted to watch it at the same time. So
Excellent, excellent.
Nice.
So Matthew, again, welcome to the show. Tell our followers and the people out here a little bit about Must Do Canada.
So Must Do Canada is basically a travel blog or website and YouTube channel about the best things to do across Canada, and we've kind of turned it into as well like a media company that's separate. It's Must Do Media, so we do like video production and content creation for tourism companies in Canada as well. Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, I just saw one of your videos you just launched. You went to that national pond hockey tournament, you hockey guru.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it was just over a month ago, and now we're like stuck at home.
Yeah, we're in lockdown.
Weird.
Lockdown. Hey, the travel talk show is going to open it up for you.
Did you play, Matthew, or did you just watch?
No, we did enter a team. We made it to the playoffs, but lost the first game. So.
Oh, you made it there, right on.
Yeah. Okay, how about we throw a tough question at you?
Okay.
Post COVID, what are you seeing? What are you hearing? What do you think? And how do you think how are we going to help tourism out to get through this hump?
Oh, I know it's hard to say. I mean, I know when we were on a call with Tourism Alberta, and I know they had mentioned that Canada as a whole was going to focus on putting their dollars for Canadians to travel around Canada, so more like traveling in your home country. That was even before the last month. They were already saying that because, of course, the borders were starting to close. But it's hard to say. I'm actually like, it's hurt us a lot in our business, but I actually feel more bad for all the tourism companies and the bricks and mortar shops. And I understand the importance of it, but I'm almost like, I wonder if it's worth the what might happen if this continues for the next few months.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, and we're going to cover a little bit about that later. And I'm glad you brought it up because this is a serious issue, and it's going to affect many small and rural communities and urban centers. So yeah, I'm glad we're gonna try and touch on that later because we've been talking to people like you, the people in the know on the front line, and we've been gathering a whole bunch of feedback. So we're excited to share it with the travelers, Canadians, our followers, our fans, and anyone else that's watching out there. We welcome you. Hey Matthew, post COVID, and I agree, I think Canadians we're gonna get together and we're gonna support the country and we're gonna go and travel and explore the country and use services like yourself and ourselves. And if you were to tell people close to where you are in Calgary, right?
Yeah.
Where would you tell them to go and check out?
I mean, if you're in Calgary, for sure, my favorite's like the Icefields Parkway, of course. I know it's probably become cliche in a way, but it's hard like not to recommend it. Really close, but even day trips from Calgary, like to Drumheller, it's a really nice spot. Yeah, I'm always like I get asked a lot what my favorite place in Canada is, and I'm sure just like you guys, it's a really hard question.
Very tough.
Name it. I definitely have my favorites, but not one favorite.
You know what? The only time it really gets easy, and they say, "What's your favorite in a community?" But when they go out, when they start saying Canada, it's the list is too long. Yeah. Hey, it's funny because it was a month ago, March 8th. You came down to Merritt, British Columbia, Canada, and you were our keynote speaker at our very first annual awards gala for Experience Nickel Valley, and you knocked it out of the park, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you did.
Great job.
We got video. But
yeah, no worries. Hey, it's lockdown. What the heck are you waiting for?
I know.
Just bugging you. You did a great job. I mean, I thought it was great. Everyone kept to us and said it was great. And I hear you got some good feedback. Maybe give, I know we have quite a few of our Experience Nickel Valley followers there, and of course the bloggers. Maybe give it a little summary of what you thought of our little event that we hope to bring national.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was very well done. It was an awesome experience. It was cool to see. I like the fact that you focus on local bloggers as well, just because, of course, like, you know, as important as it is to get other influencers in and demonstrate it, you really have to have those people locally always promoting it, especially because they're there, right? Like that's it's funny. Usually when you go to small places, or any place really, and you meet the local person who really loves their city, that's what makes this really come alive for you. So I think it's cool to showcase that. And for me, that was my first keynote. So thanks for having me.
Well, and I'm telling you, no one would have known.
Thanks. You
nailed it.
I don't like to watch myself.
Yeah. So, like you said, I'm told, I think Colin and I and a lot of the people we're talking to in tourism, I think we all agree that when this is all said and done, there's going to be a lot of tourism, brick and mortar and tours, guides, and the whole accommodations, everything we can't rely on international tourism. So I mean, it leaves it. It's going to have to be Canadians that are going to pick up small and rural and urban centers in their tourism markets.
Yeah, and I would think a lot of Canadians might be even nervous to travel at first, anyways, like outside of the country, and would probably be more comfortable staying here. And I don't know about other people, but I would think after a couple of months in isolation, you really want to get out.
Right? A little bit of cabin fever.
Yeah. It's funny. You know what that reminds me of is when you come home from work and you got a dog and they're inside all day, and you come home and you open the door and the dog just bolts outside. That's what it's going to be like when self-isolation is over.
And I'm used to working at home, so it's been a change, but not a drastic change. But for those that work in offices, it must be a really big change. So.
Yeah, and I think we're in the same boat. Colin definitely is because he's the tech guru of this little operation.
Right.
But you know, we got our home offices. We're in self-isolation and we're hunkering in. We like to call it self-hibernation.
Yeah,
just a little bit of adventure tourism version, I guess.
Yeah,
it's weird, crazy times.
It is.
All the little tour operators and accommodations and B&Bs and stuff. Those are the ones that they got the high overhead to cover.
Yeah, exactly. I know it.
Yeah. And trying to do whatever we can to help the tourism industry recover. If everybody travels road trips, travel local, hashtag a road trip, we like to call it. And we can all work together in boosting the tourism industry.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's kind of funny. I was thinking the other day, like, you know, probably not many want to talk about like marketing and stuff like that, because obviously expenses are through the roof in different ways. But
yeah,
it's almost like one of those things. It's as soon as it hits, I think it's going to be a great thing to have your name out there and get people coming to visit.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Matthew, you got anything you want to tell us about anything in the future before we let you get back to work?
I'm not sure now. Even for me, it's all been kind of like, we actually had a bunch of projects lined up for the Yukon, for BC, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, even some parts of the US, and it's all been canceled so far.
Yeah.
So now we're not sure, but I mean, if all those do like remain canceled, we definitely want to get back into BC since it's not too far from Calgary. And in terms of our content with video, we actually only have one video for the overall province, so there's still a lot more to explore there. So
I was saying,
exactly. Our video is like 12 minutes, and we always get commenting like, you know, you missed like this, and that, and I'm like, I know.
It's tough to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny when we did that big road trip, 150 days across Canada, but when you divide it by the provinces, it's less than 2 weeks in a province, so it's really not that much time, especially for BC, right? I mean,
well, it took us 10 years.
Yeah,
our trip to cover.
And we still didn't see everything.
And we still didn't see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Matthew.
we have a policy: stop everywhere and see everything. So it can be a long, slow trip.
For sure. It's a
Yeah.
good way to do it, though.
There you go, buddy. Hey, we'll have to talk soon. Keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on.
And yeah, and thanks for coming on the show. And we're going to invite you back for sure. Seems like everyone, I think what I'm seeing anyways is, yeah, we're going to have to invite you back now.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely be at home, so.
Okay, Matthew. That's Matthew Bailey of Must Do Canada. And make sure you catch Matthew. He's on YouTube. And just search YouTube Must Do Canada, and you'll find him and his wife, Carla, who have a wonderful show. And it's a growing show. How many followers you're at now, buddy?
Well, we crossed 30,000 yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
on. Right on.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Kudos.
it seems it's our Newfoundland episode that's doing all the viral right now. For some reason,
Oh, really?
Newfoundland. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers to that screech. That's all it is, right?
Exactly, right?
Okay, Matthew, thanks for coming on, and we'll invite you back soon.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Okay. Ciao, buddy.
Be well.
You too.
Well, that was great.
That was Matthew Bailey. That was
always
nice
good to
of
see
him
Matthew.
to come on our first self-isolation episode, our first show of Travel Talk. And again, I'm Greg Gerard, not Matthew Bailey. And who are you?
Try not to talk at the same time. I'm Colin Gerard, the other co-owner.
There you go.
We've been introduced already.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do is we got a little feature we're bringing on board, and it's called 5 Things You Should Know. And this 5 Things You Should Know is some of the conversations we've had with the experts that we're in contact with businesses. We've also got businesses, associations, and so forth. And we're just going to share with you some of the stuff, some of the concerns, and some of the issues. And then we've also, with this COVID, there are some positives that are coming out of it. And then we'll talk about bottom line tourism. So we'll just go a little bit into that. So here's our episode. 5 things you should know from our emails, texts, beeps, and phone calls from all our conversations we've had in the last 2 weeks. And I've nailed down 5 things which seem to be the most popular. And first one, number 1, and this is a sad story, and I think people should know this. Tourism businesses are out there because of the financial issues they're having now, currently selling their houses and equipment to pay some of their bills. There doesn't seem to be any relief in sight, and there's a lot of worried businesses out there, and so they are selling some of their assets to pay their bills. And this is something we should know as Canadians, that the tourism industry, who brings in a lot of money into our communities, a lot of new money, and then people, it's time to people to see a little bit about their story and what's happening out there. Number 2, 5 things you should know. The majority of tourism business, Canadians need to know this. I think a lot of them do. The majority of tourism businesses work 3 to 4 months, their summer season. Those 3 to 4 months, Colin, are what pays 12 months of bills.
Yes.
This is something. So if this summer is going to be a challenge, and even if it does come, and I'm hoping it does, but let's face it, it won't be as dynamic as it has in the past. No. It's going to be, and we're going to get into this a bit, but that 3-4 months that we're going to lose, that's going to pay the monthly bills for 12 months.
Yeah.
So that's a big concern. Another thing is and this is sad, and this is something else we've heard, and this is why it's important when we get to how we're going to solve this a bit, is some tourism businesses have a 4 to 6 week window right now that have closed, especially our restaurant friends, bar friends, these type of friends. If in 4 to 6 weeks, there's a possibility that with all the debt they're accumulating, that they're not even going to be able to reopen.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's very.
Yeah. Here's something that I found out the other day. Number 4 or 5 things you need to know or should to know is, we all love, and maybe most of us have all gone to it. It's Banff, Jasper, Whistler, all these sort of things, right? They've all been out there. They're called resort destinations.
Mm-hmm.
What people might not know or put the pieces together, and as we know, many of the employees at these resorts, Colin,
Mm-hmm.
they're international. They're from Australia. They're from other countries that come here.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, they all flew back.
Okay,
so
yeah.
They're all flew back. So all these employees that go to these resorts that manage everything are gone. So when it does get back to that, we can do a little bit of traveling, and it's going to be a new normal. It's going to be a little bit different. But when we go back, how are these Banffs and Jaspers and Mont Tremblants of the world? How are they going to staff all these attractions and resorts? And you've worked in some, I've worked in some, and that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I just read the other day, the unemployment rate in Banff is 85%.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
I read it on my little, how I do that little research thing in the morning,
Yeah.
because we like to stay in tune with what's going on. That's what we do. Because we are a private tourism company. We're not government. Make sure everyone knows. Here's the number one thing. And I put it number 5 because it seems to be the number one thing. The 40,000 government emergency program.
Mm-hmm.
Not it. All these small businesses aren't impressed, because what happens and what they're saying is that it's short-sighted, and it just postponing financial difficulty into the middle of a recovery. So what these debts that are going to have to be repaid are going to be in a recovery that's going to be so tough, so hard, scrapping and scraping, because we're going to have Canadians, and we're going to have to rely on Canadians. And that's huge. It's going to be in the midst of recovery. So they're all looking at it, they're saying, wow, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. And okay, so it's 40 grand. They give back 10, you pay recovery. And if you can't pay it, they extend it. Yeah, whatever. The whole point is, no one's going to be in the shape at that time. A lot of these small businesses aren't going to be in the shape in that time to handle it.
Yeah, or want to take on more debt.
Yeah, yeah. So these are just some of the concerns out there, and the tourism industry. The reason why we love it so much, the people, the frontline businesses, and also how important it is to many survival of small rural and urban centers is tourism. So I think it's important with this talk show that we're going to bring on a lot of cool experts, a lot of knowledgeable people, and we're going to hear a lot of good things out there. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of people on here, and sorry guys. Here's something from look at this call. Look who's here.
Shelly.
Shelly Beach.
Hello, Shelly.
Shelly. Glad you could join us, Shelly. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on. Tell everyone. Yep. Thanks, Shelly. What do we got here? Yeah, we know that this, with the internet, sometimes it will freeze. This is live. We got some people said their screen froze.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It depends on your internet, our internet, everything. Hey, don't be surprised if we get bumped right off and have to log right back in. But it's the beauty of live, man. Woo! Yeah, live. Right? So here's some of the positives. And it's always good to have some positives. The increased use of technology. It's going to really change things. Conferencing tools are changing. Communication tools are changing. The way the technology that's coming out, including our programs, which we'll hopefully get a little bit into later, which are built for the technology and tourism online for small and rural in particular. Here's something I just read from the BBC. Okay, it was just before the show, and it said about technology. People are traveling up and down highways to hold meetings in insufficient, expensive, and not good for environment. So people are figuring out that this conferencing might work, and it's a waste. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money. It's very expensive, and it's not good for the environment. And the reason the environment's brought up is, if anyone's been watching, the skies are clearing up. The Venice, you can see the bottom. They're starting to see fish come back into it. So there's a positive there, if anything. And then he goes, I think the use of roads, rail, and bus might be affected by this new travel habit. And we will get into that, because there are a ton of new travel habits being formed right now. And how we respond individually as a business or as our ehCanada family is gonna go a long way. Here's another positive. Remote working will increase because of everyone that's getting comfortable with it and with the tools available. They're saying that some companies or some employees are going to request maybe 1 or 2 days a week to work from home if they're able. I mean, that sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So they're sort of saying that might be a trend we're looking at. Internet's going to improve because it's becoming such an emergency factor. They're saying that the internet has to improve, which means that they're saying a new priority that might be something that we seriously need to discuss is getting high-speed internet to all the rural areas and bridge that digital connectivity gap that we're having. I mean, we need people in situations like this to have access to the internet.
Yeah, everybody needs to be on the same level.
Yeah, and
like I heard the other day with students. I mean, they're required to take these online courses, and students in the city centers have a one-up on students in rural areas because they can't get the internet.
That sounds pretty real to me. That sounds very real. The other thing too is that another positive is I don't know if it's a positive or not, but from my research and from who I'm talking to and all the talk is that they're saying that the use of cash will decline. People will come to terms with how much they're starting to understand items that are handled a lot and how things are transmitted, and they're saying that cash usage might go down. That sort of makes sense, eh?
Well, I've talked before about all the germs on cash. And, you know, CBC's had those documentaries on it. And people are going to be a lot more concerned about viruses and what's out there.
Yeah. Again, everyone, with Facebook Live, it's live. We're working off on a live set in self-isolation, talking tourism, talking how we're going to try and deal stuff. And we've got people on. You can participate in this if you got something you'd like to add, and we can catch it in time. Then we're good there. So another thing, Call, because we're online and we're using technology, I think what's happening out there is that because everyone's getting better at technology, search engines, social media, technology tools, and all that, what's really happening right now is the search habits of people are going to change. Social media is going to become more influential. All of this is going to help tourism. And tourism, I think, based on what I'm hearing and what I can calculate, is you need to be very knowledgeable on creating an online audience. Internet usage will go up. And I think if you look at just Facebook groups, they're getting tons of posts, like tons. They can't keep up, especially ones that have needed an approval. They can't keep up. Everyone's learning a little bit. And I think the future of tourism, and I think we're a good source to help people with, is going to be won and lost online. That's the way it's going to be. And these old models that are being fronted by you-know-who's out there, they're 10 years behind. Clients, I'm telling you, our clients out there are saying, all these updates, I can get all these links somewhere else all over the place now with all the COVID links and the helplines, which are great. But what the clients want is they want ideas. They want different ideas. They know the industry's changing. And at least I think with us, we are changing, and we are doing some pretty interesting stuff right now that is doing really well. That's ideal for this. So that's another thing, is that the search engine habits of people is going to change. How they're going to use social media is going to change. They're going to become way more important. Bottom line, I think in tourism, here's the thing. To put everything in perspective, is that the summers are the majority of where the tourism dollars are made in this country for many communities. And this summer is going to be tough. And the thing is that the summer revenue pays for 12 months of bills for a lot of these brick and mortar resorts. Some of these things they might be able to pull through on a winter one, but they're not a prime destination for that. Then you have next summer, which I think will still be in recovery. There still will be some tweaks we're working out on how the market has changed. And so then we're looking at the third summer where we might get back to respectable levels. So this is the thing with tourism is that I don't know many businesses that are going to be able to hold on that much.
Being on the edge, they can't afford missing a summer, missing a season, even parts of the season.
And it's a new reality out there, right? It's a new reality.
Scary.
What's that?
It's scary for a lot of people.
Oh, exactly. So I hope what we're coming up with might be a little bit helpful. And some of the things that we're going to talk about in each show, we've got some really smart people coming on board. But right now, I think let's lighten it up a bit. I think what we want to do is we've got this feature that we're the isolation vacation. And what we're going to do is show off some of the awesome places that we've seen in Canada. And this is sort of where Bro here takes over. I'm going to back off because I got to go to the projection room. And I got to work all this complicated equipment back there because we have such a large staff. Hey, Call, just huge.
Huge.
Yeah, they're all over.
Out of control.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got some here. Look at this. We've got I Love Cowichan from home. She's coming on. Hey, how's it going? Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. Nice. She hit it on the nose with the secret button. Nice to see you. I Love Cowichan. Love what you're doing online and social media. Keep up the good work. And I'm sure we'll talk soon. Let's see who else we've got here. We've got some people freezing up. Again, it's that internet thing, right?
Yeah.
Some areas just don't have that high-end stuff. We got to fix that. We got to do something for that. And then I'll just bow out and let you take over and introduce the hike. We'll talk to you in a bit.
Sounds good, bro. Good job. Hello, all. It's just me and you guys now. We're going to talk about the Grossmore National Park in Newfoundland, in particular the Green Gardens Trail. It was one of our favorite, most memorable hikes. Beautiful, like many hikes, but it became one of the most memorable because it wasn't quite what we expected. The hike is, like I say, it's in Grossmore National Park, West Coast, Newfoundland. It's a 9-kilometer return hike, circle route. You reach a beautiful beach where you can see some sea caves. This is us on the way in, really enjoying the views, loving the time. As you can see, the hike on the way in is quite easy. There's no it's mostly downhill from the top of the mountains down the ocean, so it's very easy. Here's this is later on in the hike, but these are different pictures in the hike which we can highlight and discuss. Anyway, the hike is when you get down to the sea caves, the waterfall, and there's what's called sea stacks. Hey, there's good timing. That's a sea stack. So you have those down there. There's many places on the East Coast that actually have those, and they're quite amazing, quite beautiful. There's also there's another sea stack there. That's on the way out of the park. On the way out, away from the beach, there's beautiful wildflower meadows. There's the first beach you get to, just gorgeous. You see, there's not a lot of people around, so you have privacy and just amazing scenery. There's the waterfall. Yes, that was nice to refresh yourself when you got down. And this is part of the hike on the way up, which is that's beautiful wildflower meadows. The smell in the air, just amazing. This is when we start to go up, which we can describe. Going up was all right until we hit a whole bunch of stairs, hundreds. hundreds, literally, stairs. Anyway, so we're going up these stairs, and between the stairs, it's a beautiful hike. You got stairs, and then you have wildflower meadows. There's actually some wilderness camping platforms out there where you can pitch your tent above the ground on the wood, which is really a really nice feature. And beautiful wildflower meadows and amazing views. So anyway, we get up these stairs and we're going up, hundreds and getting pretty tired and thinking we're near the top, this last flight of stairs. And you all know when you go on a hike and you're going up this big hill and you're thinking you're almost there at the end. And once you get to the top, you take the corner and you see an even bigger hill. This isn't one of those hikes. Green Gardens is a very memorable hike because once you get to the top of the stairs, we are just, exhausted. We get to the top of the stairs and we take a turn, and it doesn't go up, it goes back down. All the way back down to the ocean, and the river that you see there. So we're thinking, okay, after all this hike up, we got to go all the way back down. So we're all the way back down. We get down to the bottom, which is very easy going down. Beautiful. We cool ourselves off in the creek, and we're okay. We're going to go back up. This time we're getting up to the parking lot so we can get out. So we head out, beautiful meadows. We're thinking, hey, maybe there's not as many stairs this time. But guess what? Turns out it was hundreds and hundreds of more stairs. Anyway, so we do these stairs, and we're getting to the top for the parking lot. And to our surprise, we take the corner, and it goes down again. It goes all the way back down to the ocean. Anyway, we're getting pretty tired by now. We figure one more time up, we can do it. And third time was lucky, and we got to the top, and lo and behold, the parking lot. As you can see the picture with Greg on that sign, we're not sure if he's hugging it or if it's holding him up. And that was the adventure of the Green Gardens Trail, and it was when everything's go different on adventures, not as planned, they always seem more memorable. Whether it's a flat tire, you run out of gas, or end up going all the way down the ocean and then back up again. But it was gorgeous. We're glad we did it. Simply amazing. Recommend anybody go and do that. And that's our story of the Green Gardens at Grossmorn National Park. Next one, we're going to have to do the Grossmorn hike, which is up the mountain, which is also spectacular.
Excellent story. It was a very memorable hike. And the beach, the stairs, and the parking lot were the highlights.
Yeah. And I'm not sure whether you knew about all the stairs up and down before, just didn't tell me, but you seem pretty surprised too.
Yeah, well, I guess I probably was a little bit surprised, I would say.
Amazing hike.
Yep.
Just exhausted at the end, crashed.
Yep. It was absolutely amazing. So what we got now is, I think what we'll do is we'll give a little intro to our April lineup. The April lineup is who we got coming on in a very short period of time. So I just bring them on screen here, and there we are there. We just had Matthew Bailey. Who we have coming in on April 7th, Colin, is a writer, speaker, and consultant, Mary Doyle. She's from Calgary also, and she's for Rural on Purpose. She's very influential on the rural tourism, small and rural communities. So we're glad to have her on April 7th. So cheers to Mary. I'm sure you're watching.
Mary.
April 14th, we welcome our first international guest, Susan Kavanaugh. She's a tourism strategist and trend spotter, director of Creative Planet Media. And she's from Australia, Colin. So she's going to share. Our cousins in Australia are going to come on our show.
Excellent.
And then on April 21st, we have Mr. Ken Coates. He's part of Canadian Research Chair of Regional Innovation out of University of Saskatchewan. And Ken's going to come on board on April 21st and share with us some of his sights on his thoughts on small and rural communities throughout Canada and what he knows and sees. And Ken will bring a lot to the show, Call.
Sounds interesting.
We got a new feature. This is exciting. Surprise, surprise. We're just getting our computer technician here to get his act together. Oh, that's me. Whoops.
Yeah.
I think that was me. I'm supposed to do that. So this feature we're calling our shameless plug. Ah, yes, the old shameless plug. Well, if we're going to have such a high production show, Call, I think we got to do a shameless plug.
You need the self-flattery.
Yeah, yeah. So let me tell you a little bit about our shameless plug. Because it's going to be a lot of Canada out there and we want to promote Canada, make sure you check out ehCanadaTravel.com. ehCanadaTravel.com. We're the little guys that could. We're the steam engine that goes up the hill. We're the underdog, and we love it. But we're also real, and we are boots on the ground tourism. And on our site, everything you see, we've documented, and we encourage you to provide content and be part of the program.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Yes.
We got some trophies, and we got good job, boys. Kevin Hughes, he's coming on, and he's got something to drop. And there goes Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Shameless plug. We also got a Canada Travel blog, which is highly ranked, 23rd in the world by Global Rise for travel blogging, number 7 in Canada. So I think we know a little bit about what we're talking about there. And then, of course, we have our community program. We just finished our first pilot project, triple digit increases. It's the ideal program for any small and rural community, any group that wants to basically take over the search engines and learn social media. It's economical. It's low staff, low maintenance, because what we build for our clients are programs that doesn't take millions of dollars to run, 800 staff, and have to have government funding to do every year. This program is built for you guys. But get a hold of us, and we'll fill you in on how this community program and what it's done for some of the people that we've talked to. So with that shameless plug, I think, do we got any other shameless plugs, Cole?
Look for ehCanadaTravel.com 3.0 to launch this spring. We'll have tons of new features, a whole new look. So making it very easier for everybody to travel in Canada.
Yep. And we're also, what we're going to do is we're going to have a show every week. So tune in Tuesdays. We're going to build this up. It's our show, and we're bringing in some really great people. And thank you, Matthew, for joining us today. You rock. Must Do Canada. Look it up on YouTube. And we're bringing this show from self-isolation. We're also going to do a lot out there, and we're practicing physical distancing. We know you guys are struggling. We love you to death. This is fancy production quality, people.
Wow, I'm impressed.
I know. It's so cool. And working it all, lighting, everything. Wow, Canada Playcation. So we want
to work on the wardrobe crew.
Yeah. So staycations, we get the concept and we get it, but when this is all said and done, the last thing a lot of people are going to want to do is go around. So what we want to do is we like to call it a playcation. So explore your region, look around, go to this campground, go to this accommodation, take this tour, go fishing, guiding, support the local small and tourism, go to a restaurant. I know money's going to be tight, but if you're going to go and you're going to go away for a while, tourism needs Canadians to give back and do everything you can to support the restaurants out there, the tours, the guides, the historic sites, the parks. We've got a great park system. Big fan of nature here, and I know Colin is too. We love it. But please go out there and support the Canadian tourism industry. We have programs coming. We are doing some things on the back end for clients that are signing on with us. We have some very good effective packages to make it a little bit easier for them. And we're trying to do our bit. We don't get the $1 million of funding. I know you might think that because of our expensive set. Look at the expense.
And your winning smile.
Oh, and the set, Colin, it's just expensive.
Oh,
I know.
A lot went into
The
this.
production quality. Look at the fancy work on screen. I don't know. Yeah. So that's it. We're coming to a close for the ehTravel Talk Show. It's been fun. I've had a great time.
I was just gonna say, for as far as planning your post-COVID adventure, like everybody's gonna want to go out because everybody's going stir crazy, cabin fever, whatever you want to call it. World isn't ending. This will pass. And a good way to get around that might just be to sit down with them and plan your next post-COVID adventure.
But when this is said and done, go check out our country. We took 10 years to see it, and we love every second of it. And there's a lot out there to see. So pick somewhere, learn about it. ehCanadaTravel.com will help you with that. Hey, look who tuned in here. Oh,
Randy,
this guy,
our buddy.
Yeah. Mr. Olawa from Hewlett, British Columbia. Nice to see you, Randy. Thanks for tuning in.
You forgot the #1 fan competition. We got Carrie and Merv and Kim going at it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of if there's going to be a little bit of a trash talk, who's #1 fan? That works for me.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Canada, stay safe. Keep the physical distancing. If we all do it, we get to go and explore faster. We get to go on adventures faster. We get to go see other communities faster. We get to go attractions faster. We get to go see our moms and dads faster. We get to live again faster. Stay indoors. Be smart. Little sacrifice, big gain. We want to go and promote tourism. We're going to do our best from isolation, but we excel. Boots on the ground. We're on the front line is where we do our work best. And you can always look us up online, social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, and who am I missing? Instagram. We're out of here. 1 hour show next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Be here, be square. Love ya. Canada, be safe. Tourism, we're here for you, and we will recover. We will recover. Believe me, we will. Hang in there. Bye for now.
Take care.